one of the things that I have to do this morning, I need to understand how my $20,000 investment got paid, folks. Yes, I took a flyer, I took a risk at Sean Cannell's prodding to set up a podcast room at the event over the weekend, and I have no idea what happened. I really don't. I paid for it, wrote the 20K check. I let all of my millionaires know that they were going to be there. This podcast room to me was a give back. It was a way for me to say thank you for flying out, for doing all that you do on this channel. It was really so they could get together, right, in the same room, so they can maybe also interview some of their friends and folks that they follow. So I'm going to ask Matt and Dion what happened, because I have no idea. I was running around, and yeah, Dion, how you doing?
Howdy, I'm doing great. I'm thinking my voice is coming back now after this weekend.
Yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I I sound like I smoked 16 packs of cigarettes in the morning before I start talking.
Yeah, I told Brian Adamson, I was like, hey, I got a nice deep voice for like 24 hours. This is like kind of fun. Um, Dion, you're back home, I believe, and Matt, you're out on a trip, Vegas
I'm
with
on
the
a tr
family now.
I'm on a trip in Vegas with the family, picked them up at the hotel last night, and as you can imagine, children adjusting to a 3-hour time zone difference was a fun time the first night.
Yeah, that's not gonna be good. That's not gonna be good. Well, gentlemen, I believe, I think I walked by the room a couple of times. I believe both of you were interviewers and interviewees in the podcast room. But can you highlight what may or may not have happened? Because again, these videos will be released as bonus content for the folks that were at the course. This is stuff nobody knows about, but I like to give back, so we're going to give it away for free as bonus content. What happened in there, Matt? You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, the fantastic lineup, and obviously, it's uh, you know, there's kind of like groups, and it's kind of based on how you kind of brought people on the channel, right? Like, so
Mhm.
Millennial Mike and myself and Dion, like we kind of all came on at the same time, and we've done, multiple events and spent time with each other and all that good stuff. And so that's been fantastic. And then it was kind of like the next group of people that kind of came on, which was kind of cool. So, obviously, had never met Sean Cannell, never met Coach Carson. And it was awesome. It was awesome to get together and spend time with each other and kind of learn each other's investment strategies and kind of how each other does things. I mean, if you're going to make the stuff available to people that weren't at the event, if they pay some sort of, like, you're going to, perfect.
So again, my whole idea is to exceed expectation always. So who gets this? Everybody who bought a physical ticket, that's it. They're going to get the recording and the bonus. Everybody who bought a virtual ticket is going to get the virtual and the bonus. And then, yes, anybody who wants it after, they can get the recording of the event and the bonus out there. So it will be available for others as well.
Yeah, like I'd never spent any time with Sean. I'd spent some time looking at Coach Carson's stuff. Sometime looking at Sean's too, but never spent any time with him personally. Never had really talked to them ever. And so it was an amazing experience. It was, um, you know, uh, Sean is elite at what he does.
Yeah, he's the Navy SEAL Team 6. I think that's the
Yeah,
elite one. Yeah, he's on that
he
for
is.
sure.
He is like he is elite. He knows everything about everything when it comes to that stuff. And it
Mhm.
was it was just a pleasure, right? Because we do our best to interview people, but he's an interviewer, you know?
So again, in this case, he was interviewing you, right? You were in the
Yeah.
interview
Yeah.
EC. Oh, very cool.
Yeah. We were just talking about, and it was cool because it's all about the story, right? Like we're all our story, and it's all the pain, all the tears, all the near bankruptcies, all the
Ah,
lawsuits, and all the stuff that we go through as landlords. What was really funny is it's like, most people don't know that stuff. And
mhm.
there is a human element. That's why every conversation, I didn't have 900 hellos. I had 70 or 80 conversations with people over the
Yeah,
weekend. So it's
yeah.
like you're really getting to know people, getting to know kind of where they're at in their life, where they're at in their journey with real estate investment. And so Sean did an amazing job of kind of putting that together and helping us, or helping me better organize, kind of talking about the why and the how
Mhm.
and the who and the where. I thought he was just fantastic. You know, it was obviously, you know, when you're being interviewed by somebody that's a really good interviewer, it doesn't feel like an interview, it's a
Right.
conversation.
No.
And so he was awesome. So the time with him was fantastic. Then the time with Coach was even more fun in a different way because he let me geek out. You know, we got that ADU guy and Sean were all cut from the same cloth, mine being much wider. But we're all cut from the same cloth. And so we get to geek out about product. And you know, I knew I was with my, you know, with my brother from another mother, with both of them, when you know, when Coach started talking about, well, let's build the perfect rehab from the ground up.
Oh,
And I was like, honestly, I'd never even thought of the concept. I've always
wow. That's
kind
good.
of
I'm gonna be listening to that one.
it really, I mean, just like even just the premise, like the premise was
Yeah.
phenomenal, but then to walk through, you know, literally, hey, this is why I pick what I pick, and the reason that I arrived there. And if you start off with that, you are 10 years ahead of every other real estate investor. You just are.
Yeah.
You're 10 years ahead of them because
Wow.
it's all the products that we kind of use on a consistent basis. And then with Coach, it was much the, you know, with going through all those different steps. We went from basement to roof. We went
Mm.
basement to roof. Here's all the products that we use. Here's why we use them. Here's what we get out of using the ones that we are using, and you know, reducing the amount of maintenance. He had a message and a saying that I really liked, which is, you know, we basically rehab to maintain.
Mm.
And that's exactly how we do it. You know, when we're rehabbing a unit, we're rehabbing it based on what it's going to take to then maintain that asset over the next 20 to 30 years. And so that premise and being on the same page right with the first question, it was just, you know, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So you did an amazing job with the lineup. And I've never seen a studio like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never seen a studio like that. The studio was spectacular, and the people in the room were nothing short of amazing. It was
Yeah. Multiple
truthfully a studio
cameras,
next level.
switcher,
Oh,
lighting.
everything.
It was again, sometimes when you take a flyer on something, you're like, I don't know where the 20 grand's gonna go, but
Right.
I could see where the 20 grand went in that environment. And yeah, shout out to the team at Heartfelt Productions, Brandon and everyone there. So you were the interviewee, what, once, and then you were
I
the
was the
interviewer
I was
twice?
the interviewer with Sean. I was the interviewee with Sean Cannell. I was the interviewee with Coach. And then I did small interviews with them outside the studio because
Yes.
that studio was packed. That
It
studio was
should be.
packed. Yeah, it was packed. Like Zoob, if you were paying by the minute, you'd have paid more. Like because
Probably,
it was used
probably, yeah.
every single second of every single day. So, but it was a great place to start those relationships and really create more community. And so then I was able to do one with Coach. I was able to do one with UE.
Mhm.
UE was in there with I think with Sean.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uneducated economists with
I
yeah,
cannot wait to see that interview. I mean, I
that's
was
gonna be
standing there by
amazing.
the glass, just kind of pressed up against it, you know.
Can I hear? Can I hear? Can I hear?
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
what was
that's
that?
cool.
That
That's
was
cool. All
good.
right, Dion, how about you? I know you were doing a lot of kind of content in the back, which I'm sure is going to be a surprise to everyone. But let's stick to the podcast room. How many times were you in there? What was that like?
So you're prepping for a marathon right now,
Hmm.
right now. What's the length of the actual marathon?
26.2.
26. So you're probably running 5 to 8 miles a day, every other day or so.
Well, right now it's not quite that much, but yeah, I'm trying to get 20 miles a week right now.
Okay. So you're running every week,
Three.
probably 2/3 of or more of marathon.
Yeah, gonna
So
ramp up later for this. Mhm.
in preparation for next year's one rental at a time event,
Okay.
which I just committed you to.
I love how you like spending my money. That's a lot of
It's
fun.
this was a marathon, especially for like me and Millennial Mike. We got in on Tuesday. We started hitting the strip in Fremont Street for videos.
Yep.
And then we did the event. Um, extremely
Well,
happy.
well, let me ask you a question because I saw some of those posts on Facebook, which I think was a lot of fun. Did you guys come out with that plan? Like, did you prep for that a week ago? Like, hey, we're gonna do this, or did you guys get here and go, let's just go to the strip and start asking random people questions. What was the deal?
Well, we talked about man on the street type videos. If anybody here is a fan of Minority Mindset, this is not an original concept of mine. It's my favorite videos of his are 5 or 6 years ago. He did some San Francisco and some New York man on the street asking
Got it.
questions. That's where
Okay.
the concept comes from.
Okay.
And so we went to this strip, and I'm getting kind of attacked with, oh, you're only interviewing the Flamingo girls. Obviously, it's you and Mike out there. Well, no, we tried for an hour. No one, you come up with a microphone, and even, camera guy, and as good looking as Mike is, people wouldn't even stop and talk to him. They just they think you're selling something, so they kind of ran away. We tried high traffic areas, low traffic areas, and then we realized there were workers, the Flamingo girls. Mike found Master Chief, right? Which he's got a little Master Chief on his desk, so we had to go over there. And 5 questions for $5. They'll stop and talk. This was actually, they get to make some money. We get our questions, and then people would see what we were doing, and we got a couple of non-working people.
Okay.
And that was a lot of fun. But again, it was a marathon. And so we thought when we get to Vegas, we're going to do some midnight Denny's meetups, because me and Mike always meet up at Denny's run. Thought midnight's a good time. Well, we didn't realize it was midnight Denny's, lunch, filming videos. Like this was the marathon. So I need to start doing 36-hour marathon practice runs.
Because
And then-
as we like to joke, you're the guy who takes naps. So you take a nap.
Was a week with no naps. Matt knew it. By the end of it, me and Matt were just laying on the couch going, what happened?
What happened? I got run over.
Separate but together. Separate but
Oh,
together on the couch.
Yes, separate but together. I call Big Spoon. But anyways, Mike, the surprise of those videos that you saw going on in the back, that's actually a surprise for you.
Whoa.
I want you to see the impact that you're having. So I tricked as many people as I could into coming back.
Tricked. Okay.
And I got 5 questions of where do you live? Where do you invest? What's your favorite strategy? Tell me about your portfolio. So I'm going to be sending those videos to you.
Oh,
This
wow.
is everybody that was there that would come and talk to me. One was in witness protection, so we did it with her off screen. But the rest of them, you get to literally see what people are doing with the information you're pulling together.
Oh, I had no idea. That's a wonderful idea. A huge time commitment. I look forward to that. Thank you. I had no idea. That's thank you. I mean, that's a wonderful idea, and that you did that. So thank you. Wow. Thank you.
And there was some great
Awesome.
people coming up doing that. It was so much fun. And future hack, if you ever go to an event like this and you just kind of want to know what everybody does, do that.
Yes.
5 questions to get to know everybody, like the things that I would want to know in order.
Do you think you got more or less than 40 people? What do you think?
Oh, more than 40.
More, way more.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Zoob, he had taken a page out of your book. He put the Panther to sleep for a bit.
Oh,
All
look.
those are interviews.
Oh my God.
Can't go too far because it's my phone. You don't want to see the back.
Yeah, we don't want to see any of those pics, but
Zoob,
okay.
he took a page out of your book and he was back there literally just, hey, and just engaging, having conversation, and then, hey, let me ask you 5 questions. And I want to say, Dion, when we counted them, I want to say it was over 70.
I think I would estimate right around 70. Yeah.
It was Zoob. It was a lot.
So let's just play this out. So 70 and a fair amount of those were couples. I'm just gonna guess.
No, there was
A fair amount were singles, I
probably
think.
5 to 10 couples.
Yeah, but I mean, they were probably there with someone, maybe not on camera, but
Yeah.
right. The reason I'm doing that, because if you did 70 folks and we assume half of them were with somebody else at the event, that makes the number 100. So you got about a third, probably more like 40% of the people in attendance. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was unreal when Dion was focusing on that stuff, like a lot of the stuff that I did with couples, because that's something that Ashley and I
So you did stuff on the side as well?
Yep.
You guys
Yep.
are awesome. All right.
Yep. Hey, you put 20 really successful people
Mhm.
in the same space for 2 days.
Yeah.
The option was King of the Mountain.
Yeah.
Someone grabbed the belt.
Right. And I gave everybody a belt, so that wasn't an option.
Exactly. I was like, is he sending a message that he wants like to the death wars, like somewhere in the building? Like, is that the mess like Gladiator? But you put 20 people like that in the same space, Mike, and more importantly, the dynamic. I got asked a couple times about this, that, or the other, guest or whatever, and I said, here's how it works. If you're a giver and if you do this to impact people like Mike does, he recognizes that right away. And if you're doing this for you and for self-promotion, he not interested.
You won't get a second attempt. That's
Exactly. So you put that, Mike, you put that group together. You put the group together. You put this all under the same roof.
right. Yeah. Thank you for that. So Dan, you spoke with Sean, right? Do I remember that? Or
I was interviewed by Sean and by Coach, and I'm
really both? I did not know that.
Here's the best part. I was doing the 5 questions in the back, right? And I got Matt, the mortgage guy. I got, and I got Coach.
Yeah.
So I was kind of grabbing anybody who would. And I thought, oh, this will be funny. So I hit record and I go, hey, what's your name? And he goes, oh, I'm Coach Carson. I said, oh, your first name is Coach. Like I laid into, I don't know who this guy is.
Right.
He's one of the, like, I really wanted to meet Sean Cannell and I really wanted to meet Coach Carson. So many people have talked about his book, Small and Mighty Investor. My thing of the right amount of cash flow from the least amount of units. Like there's so much synergy.
Oh yeah.
I did it so well. I could tell when he was walking away, he was like, that guy's stupid. So I grabbed him the next day and I was like, let me explain. Here's how my sense of humor works. And hopefully by the end of watching our presentation, he got I'm the dad joke guy.
Yeah.
So he pulled me in, we did an interview.
That's funny.
It was very exciting. It was really cool.
And again, he interviewed you.
Yes. Yeah, both of them. And I think
wow.
both of them kind of went, all right, I've got my set questions. And then I would give an answer that would lead into something else. So I think both of them intended like a 10-minute thing that turned into 20 or 25 because we hit all the topics I would want to in those in that situation.
Very, very cool. Again, I don't know who was in there. I was doing other things, obviously. Who else did you see in the room? Okay.
Mike, everybody. Everybody. Sean, I know Sean.
He did 5. No, actually, Sean Cannell did 6.
Yeah.
I interviewed him first.
Yeah.
Then this is how awesome Sean is. Okay, Sean rolls in about 9 o'clock, right? The doors open at 8, registration. He's not going to have to register. So he rolls in at 9, as I asked. He nailed it on time. We talked for like 30 seconds. He then goes into a room and interviews. I pre-set up Ty interviewing him. Ty asked for only one thing for the event, and that was to meet Sean and interview him. So, of course, took care of that. They talked for 45 minutes, I'm told.
Yeah, okay.
Then Sean goes on stage, crushed it for an hour. Then Sean goes to the podcast room, interviews 5 people.
Yeah. Yeah, it was me. So I was after UE, Uneducated Economist. Then it was me. I think then it was Dion, and then
I think it was that ADU guy, then me.
ADU guy, and then Dion. I don't know who the fifth one.
I think it was Brian Adamson. Brian Adamson.
Could have been. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I set those up. And this is why Sean is so impressive. And shout out Olivia for coming to this. So Sean gets done with essentially talking for 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's now almost 3 o'clock. He has not eaten.
Yes.
Remember, he got there at 9.
Yeah.
Started talking at 9:30, goes to almost 3, not eaten.
Yeah.
Shout out Olivia, recognizes this. She works with Melinda. Shout out the Blind Center. They go back. The kitchen shut down. They find the chef. The chef understands. She goes back and makes him a taco plate, which was the day's meal.
Yeah.
And
which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, he scarfs it down. So again, shout out to Olivia, because I could not have seen that. I should have recognized it. I should have asked earlier, but wasn't top of mind. Didn't do it. She stepped up, and Sean was very appreciative. But yeah, I just can't. I mean, Sean Cannell's business is got to be 9 figures, right? The valuation of what he's doing, and he gave us
I would think so.
5 hours. And to be clear, just so I can say this for the record, I didn't pay him a dime. And oh, by the way, he was in Seattle. He had plans to be at a big event in San Diego. He went out of his way on his own dime to come here, do a day with us, and then go to San Diego.
Yeah.
Just a great human being. And then to give us those 5 hours, and I only learned about that after when Olivia and I were breaking down the first day that all happened. So just man, I can't thank him enough.
Yeah, he was awesome. Really enjoyed the time with him for sure. You know, with your kind of 2024 vision and getting people talking about their story
Mm-hmm.
and sharing their story, and you're not going to find a better person to give people a better understanding of what will make them the most successful. When I sat down with him, I said, so yeah, so he, opens his phone and starts looking at my page. And I said, prepare to be underwhelmed. I'm the worst YouTuber in the world. I said, but I do one live stream a week. And he goes, all right, okay, all right. And then so he just starts asking questions around that. And what was really amazing, Mike, was I had no idea what we were going to talk about. No clue.
On
No
purpose.
idea. Yeah, no idea. And he says, and he pulled the perfect topic, and I felt like a dunce. He pulled the
Oh,
perfect topic. It was perfect. He goes, let's talk about how you maintained a high-end W-2 job and no one knew about this.
oh, dude, he's so smart.
This is what I'm saying. Like the topic popped me off
The
the head,
elite of
blew
elite,
me
the
away.
SEAL Team 6. Yes.
Yeah, like, but this is what people are going to need, because 80% of people, their job does not want them doing YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he was able to arrive at that and already come to that point, I mean, like I said, the guy's elite. Guy's elite.
Very cool. So, Dion, what was your experience in the box?
So with Sean, it was basically tell me 5 things that you wish you knew about YouTube before you started. I think that's a kind of common thing in real estate, right? Tell me some things you wish you knew before you bought your first property. And so it kind of tells us what we can create content on.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 4 answers that were things I wish I knew early on, right? And there were kind of basic ones, but the fourth one, the one that kind of snuck in the middle, was selfish, and I asked for myself.
Good.
It was 5 things you wish you knew before you started YouTube. Here was my 4th answer. I wish I knew because I don't know now. So I wish I knew before starting YouTube, and I wish I knew now.
Ooh.
What's the exit strategy for YouTube?
Ah.
I got to flip this interview on Sean and go, oh, so he gave me like a Dion talk. Here's how I would do it. Here's how I structured it. And he broke down Dave Ramsey, right?
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey has a radio podcast now and evolution, but he's getting older, wants to retire. So in the last 2 to 3 years, Dave Ramsey has transitioned to Ramsey Solutions. Here's my other hosts that come on, get good reviews. He kind of fades away. It's not Sean Cannell on YouTube, right? I live here close to where Sean's from.
Mm-hmm.
It's Think Media.
Exactly.
Right. And so it's removing that personal brand. When you get closer to, if you grow a business large enough to where you have an exit, I think one day I'll just be like too drunk to do YouTube. That'll be the last day. But I wanted to know his style. It was kind of cool to sit in an interview room with somebody where I want to answer questions and I want to help I want to help the people that watch it, right?
Yeah.
But
you got a little taste.
So I just wanted to.
Yeah. And then you also got, oh, look at you. I like that.
I tried to get it off before you saw.
No. Yeah. Tricky. You also were interviewed by Coach, is that right? How was that?
It was good because he didn't know who I was. I think he might have saw my face on a thumbnail or something.
Yeah, probably senior, but he didn't know your story.
You're right. So to get to go through, here's my reasoning between small and mighty, the right cash flow, don't want a big portfolio, looking for financial freedom from the least number of units, to explain how I live. That's my goal. And it was pretty cool. And again, like Matt said, great interviewer, knew how to ask the questions to bring up great content.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
All right. Go ahead. You're gonna say something?
It's, we do what we do on a daily basis or a weekly basis or whatever. And then you see, and then you see Michael Jordan step on the floor.
Yeah, it's like, we'll pick up basketball.
Yeah. And I'm not even standing on the floor anymore. I'm going to go sit down. I'm going to watch for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my phone out, take some pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like you fanboy it up a little bit just because you recognize that they have something special and that they have a gift and that they've built it, built it essentially from nothing. We've all built something from nothing. So, and it's amazing to hear other people's journeys. And I didn't hear anybody's journey that was less than a decade. Less than a decade. And I think people really needed to hear that piece. And I think they really need to hear Coach Carson's entire presentation. I think it's
Oh,
worth
yeah.
its weight. It's worth its weight in gold. Too many people are focused on the wrong number. They're just focused on the wrong number. And I
Yeah.
think that he did an amazing job of breaking that down and really spending time, going through those concepts, worth its weight in gold.
Here's an impact that this event had. I listen to the Uneducated Economist, right? I'm a fan. And he has talked several times, especially after interacting with the lumberjack landlord a couple times on his channel. At some point, he kind of has hinted at he doesn't really want to do real estate, doesn't want the headache, doesn't want the hassle. It's not really his thing.
Yep.
Listen to his live stream yesterday, and he's like, actually, after interacting with these guys and realizing that it's not what I thought it was, that Coach Carson, that Dion would like and he goes through and names all of us and our different perspectives. Maybe doesn't resonate with the people that watch his channel as much, but the impact to Simon himself is walking away going, first, I think I'm going to do a course. Simon is like, how does a course work? How would I even get into this? Second, what does this real estate thing look like for him? And so if you talk to him 1 week before, absolutely not a chance. You talk to him now, his mind is open.
Wow. So I saw a little bit of his live stream in the beginning, which was cool. So it went on more after that.
3 hours.
2.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I liked how he showed his belt in the car. That was pretty cool. That was
yeah.
He constantly polishing it from the fingerprints. I thought that was funny.
That was funny. But everybody, Mike, like everybody from the venue, because you had it set up so well. Simon and Hyder, they went live from the event.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they went live from the event. It was Hyder's release into the wild.
Really?
But, yeah.
Wow.
They went live from the event. For those of you who don't know who All Nighter Hyder is, like the guy's just salt of the earth. He volunteers a ton of his time to moderate every single time Dion goes live and I go live and Millennial Mike goes live. I mean, and Simon goes live. I mean, I met him. It's funny, Mike, you and Millennial Mike met that way, basically, leaving messages on a Facebook page,
Yep.
I met Hyder that way. I met Simon that way, basically just essentially in a live stream, having a conversation. And it's amazing what happens when you put yourself out there and when your intentions are right, when your intentions are right. And I think that you set an amazing example for all the people that you've curated an experience that people can't get anywhere else. They just can't.
Yeah, one of the things I'm going to change next time. So we did commit to do the event next time. It's going to be the same weekend. Just because I like the idea of having Monday to travel back. It will be in Vegas. I'm going to use the same facility, the same team, right? So we know what each other, how we work together now. So believe me, I do not want to break in another facility. That's hard. But the one thing I'm going to change is we're going to feed everybody. Like one of the things that we did this time was I paid the extra to get the VIPs off in their own section for lunch and dinner, and then lunch the second day. And what I took from that experience is that room was full the whole time. Real conversations happening, all of it. What happened downstairs for general admission is, first off, they had to stand in line longer than I would have liked. It's just how it works at a vision impaired facility, so that is what it is. Longer than I would have liked. But the conversations there broke down into who you were with, right? They got their lunch at different times. The first person ate the electric. It didn't promote networking. So what I'm going to do for general admission, because again, I get the whole facility, like where you guys were doing some of your one-offs, next time that'll likely be where general admission food is, because I want to repeat that. I want to get 2 hours of networking. And the other thing we're going to do this time, we were going to do a concert, which unfortunately didn't happen, but we pivoted and we did essentially a 2-hour dinner. Again, the same thing happened. The VIP room, nobody ever left. General admission slowly flooded into the Vegas ether, right? So next time we're going to do a 2-hour dinner for everybody because I want to do that. So that's a tweak. Oh, by the way, that doesn't come for free. The general admission tickets are going to go up as the other will as well. But I'm going to make sure everybody gets fed. I'm going to remove that barrier because what the magic of the event for me, there's 2 things that were magical for me. I guess 3 things now that I sit here. One, it was a way for me to give back to the millionaires who give every week. I think that happened with the podcast room. They also, hopefully people were flocking and fanning over you and you were getting all the pictures, right? I wanted you to have a taste of that. I wanted you to meet each other. So that happened.
That's awesome.
Second, and this was the stretch goal, to use a sales term. And I had no control over it, which as a control freak bugs me. But that was fostering an environment for interaction with the audience.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it happen in the VIP section. Every time I went up there, people at different tables. There wasn't near as I could tell clicks forming.
No.
Right. So that was really cool. And it didn't happen downstairs, at least not to the same degree. And I'm like, that's not happening next time. So we're gonna fix that. And then the last thing is I wanted to give everybody something that would blow up social media, hence the championship belts. And near as I can tell, that worked. Did you see Beth's picture with her son? She sent that out. He's gonna hold on to that belt, I'm sure. I think he's 8 or 9. Olivia looked at it. She's like, "Oh, that's awesome." So, yeah,
Sammy approved as well. He's like,
that's awesome.
He's like, he actually saw it for the first time on Instagram, and he goes, he gets in the car last night. It's 11 o'clock Eastern time, or it's 11:30 Eastern time PM.
Yeah,
it's 8:30 Pacific time, and he goes, "Dad, where's your belt?"
I love that kid.
I'm like, where's my belt? I was like, it's at home. Like, I can't be a show off and wear it everywhere I go. Sam. Everyone's
you look
gonna
weird
be
on the street.
Yeah. I was like, it's difficult being the people's champion. It's difficult, it's not easy. But then my favorite part came where I was sitting in the car and I go, so she goes, Ashley says to me, she's sitting next to me in the car. And like I said, it's 11:30 at night. She just finished traveling for 10 hours.
4 kids.
Yeah,
4
10
kids.
hours with the 4 kids and just,
oh my goodness.
She's nothing short of spectacular. She's amazing. And so I said to her, she goes, how'd it go? I said, oh, it was amazing. And gush about the whole event. And she goes, oh, that's so good. It's so good. She goes, is he going to do it next year? And I said, yep, he's going to do it next year. I said, I kind of have something to tell you.
Oh, yes.
And she goes, okay. And I go, so, we're presenting next year, Mr. and Mrs. Lumberjack. We're presenting next year. And she goes, shut up. And I said, and then I played her the video and she goes, that's odd. And she got ecstatic. And I was like, I was not expecting the response. And I go, why are you so excited? And she goes, I have a year to prepare. So I said, well, I guess we're going to work on it. So yeah, so she was thrilled. She's like, babe, I've got so many stories about all the stuff you used to make me do. I was
Light it up.
Oh man, she's going to torch me.
So folks, if you're ready, we are doing the event next President's Day weekend and the opening presentation, it will not change that much. I promise you, will be Mr. and Mrs. Lumberjack, Matt and Ashley. I can't wait for it. I'm already excited and it's like 360 days away. Pretty cool.
We should have something done in time.
You got enough time.
Congratulations, Matt. That's awesome that you had that response. When I just mentioned Chesla one time, I can't move my arm. And I did say it with Michael Zuber's in bed with us every morning at 7:30. So maybe not the best way to present somebody like that. But what I liked about the event the most, Mike, is I've been to conventions forever, and I always think those side conversations are the best, right?
Yeah, agreed.
But you're either missing the key presenter You're missing the breakout session you want to be in.
Mhm.
You doing this all since we're on YouTube. This is kind of
Mhm.
the way we do things. Everyone knew everything was going to be on Zoom. So they'd be like, I really want to watch Coach Carson or the ADU guy or whatever, but I'm going to go and talk to these people off to the side because it's going to be on Zoom. Because that thing I want to watch, it will be there. The people who had a question for a specific speaker knew
Oh, yeah.
room to be in. So I think that was a really good way to do it. And Matt said this too. That upper back room where you're going to do the food next year, before and after the food, having that open for those kind of conversations is perfect, especially if we could do it again where it's on Zoom after.
No,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. That much will be guarantee will be it'll be the same technology setup. I'm already waiting for the contract for the venue. I'm already waiting for the contract with the production company. I'm not messing around. I don't want these people to be booked.
No.
And oh, by the way, I don't want the price to go up either. So I'm booking it.
Yeah, exactly. No, Mike, it was awesome. One more thing. So I've spoken at a number of events. I have, been the, behind stage and waiting to come out and all of this other stuff. I love that not one of us did that. Not one. There was no backstage. We are part of the community. That's it. We're not special. We're part of everybody, no matter zero rentals or your number or coach's number or whomever's number, no matter what the number, every single person was just in and amongst the crowd, because that's all we are. We're just people. And I think that I think not having that line is the difference between this event and every other one that they've ever paid to go to.
The other thing that was important to me, and I don't know if people really caught this or not, but it was very important to me, and I wouldn't let it happen. And that included me, is I wouldn't allow any selling of anything. I brought no swag. I brought no books. I didn't let anybody pitch anything. No back of the room nonsense. Give me your credit card crap, because this was supposed to be a celebration. Right. I had 40 plus people. Hey, can I get a hardback book? Can I get this? Can I get that? I'm like, guys, I'm not selling anything. On purpose. So a couple of people who had, things happen, I brought them a book and gave it to them for free. I'm like, I am not selling. No, let me give you 20 bucks. No, you're not listening. I'm not selling. You're not coming to my event and spending any more money. We did have that one exception where we raised $1,000 as a donation. That was not selling. I didn't keep that. I handed the money over in 30 minutes or less. And I won't next year. I'm not gonna sell anything. Well, if you want a book of mine, go buy it on Amazon and I will happily sign it for you. But I'm not going to have a box of books in the back. It's just, it's a celebration. It's not a sales funnel for me.
Agreed. It was,
what's wrong with all the lumberjack shirts? Where did that come from? They were popping up everywhere. That was awesome.
What was really funny was, Mike, and it was really funny because somebody, Jeff White and Salitha, she had actually brought me a shirt. She brought me a shirt.
They brought it.
She brought me a shirt.
She
brought me a shirt, and then I was just like, "This is what this community is. This is what this community is." She brought me a shirt, and so I had actually packed shirts specifically because I wanted to hand them out to some people that,
So you didn't sell them, right?
No.
I assumed that, but I wanted to ask.
I literally did not take a dime. No, I actually, in fact, what was really cool, again, speaks to this. Every single person offered to pay for it.
Of course they did.
And I
just said no.
I said, absolutely not. I said, I want to give this to you.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Great event. I'm going to have to bring another piece of luggage next year and bring more shirts to give away.
Yeah.
So, how you've been encouraging people to start a YouTube channel and share their journey.
Tell me.
Jeff and Suleika have started one. It is called PTO Forever.
It's called what?
PTO, personal time off.
Ooh.
PTO Forever. So they just started it. One video out so far. Which
PTO Forever. All right. That's on YouTube. That's a YouTube channel.
Yeah. I might if when they're brand new, sometimes they don't show up.
I'm for it right now.
Mike, I actually have a.
This is why memory things kick in. PTO for life.
Oh, for life.
Yeah. See, I want to get this right.
PTO for life.
I don't want my memory screw it up for them. But go ahead, Ben.
Good, Dion. Sorry, I was gonna say I interviewed them. it's my prediction, Zoob. If you do
Uh-huh.
this a couple more times, they're
Yeah.
going to be on that stage.
So PTO for life.
All one
Right?
word. Yeah.
Oh,
And
it's
if
all
nothing
one
else,
word.
I'll
Oh,
share
that'll
it with you. Like I'll text it to you.
Yeah, Mike, I would predict if you do a couple more of these,
Uh-huh.
I think they're going to be on that stage. I was absolutely blown
got 'em.
away by the
Righty,
level.
folks. I got him. PTO for life. All one word. Got 7 subscribers. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Let's get him over, 1 or 200 subscribers. Let's encourage him to keep going. PTO for life. Let's show some love.
Yeah,
Just subscribe. So I'm number 8.
they were phenomenal. There's no doubt in my mind, Mike, that if you do this for a few more years, that they'll be on your stage. A phenomenal husband and wife team. P.S. By the way,
Mm.
they are at 7 house hacks. They're on number 7 right now.
That's amazing.
Number
And
7.
what is your record was 8, right? You did
My
your
record's
national.
9. My record's
9.
I literally told them in my interview with them. I said, "You guys are gonna break my record," and I love it.
Oh,
Like
I
they're
love
gonna
it.
break my record 100%.
All right. PTO for life. Any other newer channels? Because again, that you heard that was
Old guy REI.
Yep.
old. Okay, old.
Old
Is
guy
it all one word?
REI.
Is it all
Yeah.
one word again?
Yep,
Frank and
it's Frank.
Cynthia Contreras are doing Old Guy REI. They gave out shirts. I wore my shirt up on the stage.
Yeah.
I wore the shirt from Jeff and Suleika on the stage at Ryan Pineda's thing too. They're very creative. Their shirts are awesome.
Old guy REI. I like it. I'm subscribing right now. We've got 48 now, 49 subscribers. Shout out old guy REI. I like it. This is it, man. I'm trying to. If this is what I see in my head, right? I'm here just because it's my show. I have the guys that have been with me for years, which obviously you guys are in that camp. We're where we are. Then that grows even more, and then that will grow even more. And pretty soon, we're impacting hundreds of thousands of people a day.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
here's the 5th thing that I learned that I wish I knew earlier about YouTube that I shared with Sean Cannell.
Okay.
Other investors and other YouTube channels in the same niche are not competition.
Right.
Right. Because there's so many things you can see on YouTube. The more people that bring you into the financial world, to the real estate world, to the retiring early world, the more eyes there are on our stuff, the more people we could share our information with. And I think when I first started YouTube, I was like, oh, that channel's great. I'm going to try to compete with them or whatever. And that's not how this works. It's find the people who are doing stuff like you do, collaborate with them. You cross-pollinate your audience and it benefits everyone. So this is me cheating. Millennial Mike, dynamic personality, right? 1,000 times better looking. That's the way I'm looking at Jeff and Suleika. I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to help them grow their channel as much as I can.
Yeah.
When they blow up, just like Mike, I'm going to step on the coattails
and
then I'll follow them into their greatness. And I see that's how it's going to go for them.
No, yeah, because I really do see. I can't spell. If you ever see me spell or I text with you, it sucks. I'm horrible. But I can vision numbers in like this tree in my head just is very obvious. And you never know like who's on the 3rd branch that's going to blow up. So here's the deal. There will be people in my head that are bigger than me. And that is totally okay. That is awesome. I want everybody on the tree to be bigger than me. Because you remember my North Star. My North Star has been since day 1 and has never changed. I'm about to be remembered 50 years after I'm dead. One of my most treasured moments for the event, he doesn't even know that one of my highlights was this 30-second, maybe 45-second conversation. So day 2, up in the VIP room, after lunch, it's one of my walkthroughs to make sure everybody's good. Millennial Mike pulls me aside. And if you don't know, Millennial Mike's 6'4", and he's built like a SWAT officer. He's just this big specimen of a man. And he leans in because, 6'4", he's got to lean in to get close to me because he wants me to hear it. Because, when you speak that far apart, the words sometimes don't travel. We're just, I'm not 6'4". And he leans in and he goes, I'm going to write you a letter. Write me a letter. I just want you to know how much you have impacted my life. And I'm like, you don't need to write me a letter. That is all I needed to hear. And I tapped him on his chest and I said, hearing that is what means the world to me. Because remember, Mike, you're going to be alive for decades after I'm dead. And you got to carry this message forward. And he goes, I got you. You will always be part of my story. I'm like, what? I got 20 years covered. I just got to find the other 30 years. So, Mike, if you ever see this conversation, of all the amazing conversations I had at the event, was my personal highlight reel, top of the top. And I'm sure he has no idea that that was so impactful to me. So there you go.
I agree. It's awesome. I mean, it's my first post about things where I got to hang out with my brothers, and you know, and
I saw
and,
that. Yeah. Yeah.
that was my biggest takeaway. That was my most fun part of the entire
Yeah.
thing.
Well, let
was
me ask
spending
this.
time with you guys.
Let me ask this as we wrap up this awesome conversation. So I just gave you my, actually, you know what? I don't know. I'm freaking broken. Just broken.
Turn the clock.
Want to know what we're going to do different next year, right? So we've got a few minutes here to wrap up this hour together. What's one or two things you each individually would like to do different next year? And it doesn't have to be better. It's just different, right? You don't want to repeat what happened last time, perhaps. We'll go to Dion first. What is something you might do different next year? Now going through this once.
If I thought we would survive, seriously thought we would survive, I'd make it a 3-day event.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Maybe not 10 hours a day, right? But
Dion, it wasn't 10 hours a day. It was 19.
it was. And so here's the proof of that and the power of networking. I'm like, I'm going to be at a convention where the uneducated economist is at. I might get like a second for a selfie. This is awesome. And then All Nighter Hider brings them over to the Airbnb and they spend the night. And I'm like, Zuber, you just won the world. Because this would have never happened. And of course, it's the end of one of the days, and we're wiped out after a week of midnight Denny's and daytime on the strip. And Simon walks in, and I'm like, nope, we're gonna stay up till o'clock today.
Yeah.
In the morning.
So I can promise you the next one won't be 3 days, because I don't think anybody knew this. Matt may have sensed it, but I don't know that he knew this. So it's Monday morning.
Yeah.
I do my 7:30 daily financial news, as I'm sure most people expected.
Yeah.
But my schedule goes 8, 9, 10. Right? We just go through it. Matt was gracious enough to be in the 8 o'clock slot. And I had 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30 set up. I canceled all of them. Because by the end, like our second interview, Matt, was supposed to be longer, but I was literally, my body felt like it was falling apart.
Yeah.
I did not eat for essentially 2 days, because I don't eat when I'm doing all that, because you just never know.
Yep.
I didn't sleep that one night, which I admitted on stage. I thought I was like something horrible was happening. Olivia said, you've got to eat something. So I ate crackers because my stomach was just, I thought I was going to lose it all. And I did, but I didn't have anything. So I ate some crackers and then I slept for 6 hours.
Yeah.
By 3, go ahead. Sorry, the 3-day event
good,
thing. Instead of the Ryan Pineda event, which was great, I think a mixer Friday night.
Yeah, maybe.
Just 2 hours of, hey, everybody get together, talk.
Yeah, if you come in, maybe.
Okay. I'm here to work on you.
You got a year.
I came in Thursday night.
Yeah.
Between that and the end of the event, I got 10 hours of sleep.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
And I don't regret a second of it. I wished I'd gotten 0, because it was that much fun. We did that much stuff. We collaborated, we deepened relationships.
Yeah.
You know, we created new ones. You know, it was worth its weight in gold. And I think the other thing too, the only thing that I would look to see, and I don't want to put a burden on you, so the only thing I would look to see is maybe some breakout rooms with a very specific topics that somebody is like, this is the one thing I am elite at. Like, you know, yes, I can do it all. Yes, I have to do it all to run my business, but this one thing, because that's one of the things that Coach taught me was I've always I've tried to keep it at least high enough level where we could communicate through it. And he was like, nope, deeper. Let's go in the weeds. Let's go in the weeds. Let's go in the weeds. And I'm like, all right, you know, I'll use an IBC combi boiler, forced hot water on demand. You know, this is what I use, 198,000 BTU. And it was like super weedy, but I think that there's people that are in the point of
Mm.
their journey where that's might be what they need. So maybe, and I know you get the whole center, but I saw a couple of offices or
Oh no,
rooms
there's
that
plenty of
needed-
space.
Yeah.
We probably consumed. I mean, there's another building that probably most of you
Yeah.
didn't see.
Yeah.
There's another building.
Interest of full disclosure, Mike, Millennial Mike actually had that idea and then he came to me and said it and I was just like, that's brilliant. Like, that's absolutely brilliant. So for what it's worth, maybe some breakout rooms where a specific skill can be taught.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of what you did this weekend was mindset
Mhm.
and taking action. Big surprise.
Mhm.
And being okay with where you're at and how you're going to grow from here. And I
Mhm.
think that there was I mean, Mike, the amount of information and the depth and the breadth and then the spectrum in which it was delivered was phenomenal. There just might be some of those things that landlords
Yeah.
need to go elbows deep on if the skill
Yep.
set's there.
Oh, it'll be well. I got a year to prepare. I know lots of people. Yeah. This next one got put together in about 3.5 months. I got a year to prepare now. So
Yeah.
yeah, we could have some fun with that. All
Mike,
right, guys.
3 months is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was
3
tough.
months. I
That was
mean,
tough.
these corporate planning groups, I know.
They do
I
it
used to
for a
run them.
year. Yeah, I
It's
know.
a year that they spend spinning up and flights and speakers and Mike, 3 months. And you did it with you and Olivia.
Nah, well, no, just me.
Just you.
Just me. No.
Olivia was supportive.
No, she was. She flew out to Vegas with me. She put up with me going back and forth to the facility a gazillion
I
times.
thought she was hilarious.
Yeah, she was. I have to shout out Olivia because she did it. She said she would come, right? And obviously she's never been on my channel. She doesn't want to be interviewed. She doesn't want any of this. But she spent almost 20 hours.
She
If you would
did.
have told me the over under was like 8 or 9, I'd have taken the under. It's just not her jam, right? She doesn't. The crowd's kind of. It's just not her jam, right? She was
But
there
Mike,
20 hours. What a lots of
Mike,
big money.
she was having conversations.
She fun. She that was awesome.
She wasn't like away in a room and just like
No,
being quiet, supportive. She was engaging
she took selfies. The fact that she took probably 50 selfies with people
it
shocked me.
it was awesome. Me too.
All righty, guys. Lumberjack, since you were talking, where can people find you?
Lumberjack Landlord, YouTube, Instagram, enjoying my very first trip in my life. Very excited to be on this trip and couldn't have been more proud to be a part of, quite frankly, after hundreds of conferences, that by far was the best one I've ever been to.
Appreciate you, brother. Dion, where they can find you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, where every Tuesday I do a live stream at 4 p.m. Pacific after taking a nap.
Love it. Love it, guys. Take care of yourself. We'll talk next week. Thanks again.
Ciao.
Thanks, Mike.